Well, good morning, folks, and welcome back to the farm. She's a glorious, well, I say glorious, but it's actually kind of a hazy day out there. You can't really see much out to the east, to the south, to the west. It's not very smoky in the air, but of course, there's a whole bunch of fires in BC and some stuff in Northwest Territories are making it a little bit hard to see. And this overcast thing, I don't think that's smoke up there. I think maybe we're going to get a bit of rain. I just phoned a fella called Ron Cubernus. He's going to bring us a couple loads of screenings for the greenhouse project. So you can see right beside the old greenhouse, I got 2 power poles laid out there. So we're going to get some landscaping fabric laid down there, and he's going to dump us about 11 yards of screenings there. He's actually going to bring 2 loads. So one's for the pool project. So the swimming pool, we never set the swimming pool up this year because we, of course, life happens. But anyway, so I got 22 yards coming. So if I need more than 11 yards for the greenhouse, I'll have some extra. And then whatever's remaining we'll use for the, basically set up the swimming pool pad for next summer. But he says, yeah, I can't haul it today. And I said, oh, really? Like, why is that? Oh, this wet weather, so wherever he's at, if he's towards Wembley, it must be just pouring rain. So I checked the weather forecast, and it's looking like later today we might get a bit of a shower, probably about 1 mil, so not terrible much. But tomorrow would bring your rubber boots to work day, I tell you, because we're going to get 50 mils of rain. That can't be right, but you never know, I guess. But if it is, we'll just take it. But I am putting some smoke of my own in the air today. You can see with the smell, you can't really see it, but I am smoking like a 6-pound ham in here. So got some honey garlic glaze on there with some crab apples in there, and that should be ready right around 3 o'clock today. Pretty excited about that. Should be tasting delicious. It's just me and Finley at home today because Carmen took Charlotte into town for a mommy-daughter date kind of thing. I think they're going to go for haircuts and pedicures and do some back-to-school shopping. Have a great day out. So, but Finn's down for a nap, so I get to do the flight of the Bumblebee, run out, move chicken tractors, do any, stuff that it's really hard to have a 1-year-old floating around, hook onto the trailer. I think we're going to go to the Lumberyard later today and pick up some pressure-treated wood just for the frame of the greenhouse. So the wife got that. It's in that crate right there. You can see it. She got this, it's a big high tunnel greenhouse, 20 feet by 30 feet. And I got reading the manual there last night, and it says, we strongly recommend that you pour a concrete foundation for this thing. And I thought, oh, that's not going to happen. But we are going to build a 2x6 base. We're going to get some pressure treated lumber for that. And then I'm going to get some 2-foot rebar. Hopefully I can get 2-foot rebar. If not, I'll have to get whatever length and just cut it, and some washers to weld in the end. I'll drill holes through that wood and I'll pound it probably 2-3 feet into the ground to anchor that frame down, and then the greenhouse will bolt right onto that, and that should be sufficient. And then of course the power poles, what are they for? Well, so we roll them right up against the greenhouse underneath the dirt cover, and we'll ratchet strap the frame down to the weight of those power poles. I don't know what they weigh, but it's an incredible amount. And so we get a hell of a wind. We get a hell of a wind coming out of the southwest all the time. And that's kind of why we thought, well, we better move the old greenhouse and then kind of tuck that in so that the house itself is a bit of a wind shelter, because we don't really want to send our tomatoes to Kansas. Not anytime soon, that's for sure. As you've seen there, I'm just over here with the chicken tractors, and I can tell you this packing water to the chickens thing is getting old. Usually the meat chickens, we have them during kind of a period of time, like a lull, I guess, in activity in the farm. So lambing is done, and you know the newborn lambs are out with their mums, and you know that's fantastic. You know, it's kind of before weaning. Maybe they're out on pasture, whatever, but there's really not a lot of inputs when it comes to the sheep at that point in time. And then we generally get to butchering before we have to worry about doing a lot of rotational grazing with the sheep. Now, of course, we went off to Europe on vacation this year, so we got meat chickens later in the year. And what that meant is that, well, it interrupted move time. Move time typically happens in the evening now. I took this week off work, so it's just happening in whatever time of day I got time. Kids are down for a nap, or maybe it happens at 8 o'clock at night after they've gone to bed, whatever. But this is also the same time of year that, well, you saw yesterday, I'm constantly, you know, worried about like a new section of pasture. I got to move things around. Things got to recover. Things got to, you know, they get outgrazed. You know, they haven't had any rain, so that becomes a source of pressure on the farmer. And then this becomes a thing that you have to manage all the time, and so that can be a bit much. So that's a lesson learned for us, that you know, maybe getting the chickens at May long weekend and having them out the door, and you know, kind of butchering in July, that actually works quite well. It works quite well because you don't have a lot of other stuff happening at the same time. So, but you know, not super great luck with these meat chickens this year. These birds, I would say probably about 30% of them undersized, right? They just haven't seen the growth rates that we typically have. We took 2 or 3 losses just because of that specific thing. We got them all through the brooder, but you know, they never really grew while they were in the brooder, those 2 or 3. And as soon as we got them outside, they just didn't thrive at all. So that didn't work out for them. Everybody else is doing okay, but like I said, the weights aren't there. So some are going to be roasting chickens, and some are just going to have to be frying chickens. Well, hey, look who's up from her nap. So we're just going to head off to Emerson Trail Building Supplies, see about some lumber. We won't be able to build anything today, but we'll be able to get it today, so that when that screenings and stuff does show up, we can do our groundwork. And as soon as the groundwork is done, I won't have to run to the lumberyard. It'll just be sitting here ready to go. All right, so I'm all finished up here at Emerson Trail Building Supplies. I got everything I need for the greenhouse foundation and the swimming pool. Basically the frame where the screenings are going to sit in, so we have a level platform there. So I got the 2x4 16s for that swimming pool, and then for the greenhouse, just for basically the wood frame that the anchor bolts are going to sit on, I got some 2x6 10s and some 2x6 16s. And then I also got a 20-foot section of 10 mil rebar. And I said, well, do you have 2 foot? He said, no. I said, well, don't worry, I got the technology. He's like, oh yeah, that's perfect. So angle grinder or zip cut or whatever, or maybe even the recip saw, whatever it's going to take. I don't think the bolt cutters will get it. It's pretty thick for that, but we'll definitely get it cut up. Get some 7/16 washers on there, welded on the ends, and then I'll be able to pound that thing in. That'll be my anchor as well. All right, so we made it home safe and sound. One cool thing, and I always worry about this anytime I'm hauling anything where I've got to tie something down, is like what's going on back there. And I never worry about that more than when I'm hauling the flat deck trailer, because I can't see anything unless it's tall enough that it sits over top of the box. I can't see what's happening back there. So my few pieces of lumber that I haul, I mean, you're driving blind. You have no idea. Is the ratchet straps even on? Is this stuff falling off and, you know, running through grandma's windshield? What's going on back there? There's a really cool feature in the GMC pickups with the backup camera that this new pickup that I got has that my old one didn't. Anyways, now that we're home, it's time to head back out to the deck. If I can get the door open, head out to the deck and check on our smoked ham. Let's have a look here. Ooh, look at that. Ooh, fogged right up there. That looks glorious. See if we can move one of these apples aside here. Get some juices going. Looks beautiful. say that's just about perfect. It's a good thing we love ham, because this is a lot of ham.